Okay, so if you have been anywhere on the internet recently, you have probably seen clips of this character, Rehmaan Dakait. But, what's even more interesting and kind of confusing are the comments, specifically the reactions he gets from women.
Yeah, you've seen comments just like this, right? It's a whole pattern. On the one hand, everyone knows this guy is a walking, talking red flag. I mean, he's a literal criminal. But on the other hand, there's this undeniable magnetic pull. And it's a contradiction that has a lot of people just scratching their heads.
So that brings us to the big question. What is actually going on here? Is danger itself just attractive? Well, the truth is a lot deeper, and frankly, a lot more interesting than that. And in this explainer, we're going to decode the subconscious psychology behind this whole thing.
Now, when you see this level of attraction, it's really tempting for guys to think, all right, I get it. I just need to act like a toxic, dangerous character. But please trust me, trying to copy a persona like this is just going to make you look insecure and totally fake. There's a much, much smarter way to develop the core qualities that are actually creating this charisma.
So let's start by breaking down the single biggest myth here. We really need to get to the root of what is truly captivating people about this character. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably not what you think it is.
The main attraction here isn't the danger itself. Not really. It's the powerful display of contrast. And this is a psychological principle that is incredibly rare. And because it's so rare, it is incredibly magnetic.
So what in the world is contrast in this context? Well, it's the ability to move from one emotional state to a totally different one, completely and cleanly. Just think about how hard that is for most of us, right? If something makes you sad or angry, that feeling can stick around for hours. True contrast is the exact opposite of that.
And his character is the perfect example. In one scene, he's this vicious criminal, capable of just brutal violence. And then, in the very next scene, he walks into a party and he is completely present. He's laughing, he's enjoying the moment, as if that other violent side of him doesn't even exist. He doesn't carry the anger with him. That is contrast.
And this is so rare because, let's be honest, most of us are the complete opposite. You could walk into any room and probably 90% of the people in there are physically present, but mentally, they're a million miles away. They're worrying about the past, stressing about the future. They are never truly there. So how is this skill even built? Well, the ability to create that powerful contrast comes from a foundational skill, the power of presence. And this isn't some kind of magic, it's absolutely something that can be developed. This kind of charisma is born from consciousness. It's a choice, and it's reinforced by practice. It's the ability to consciously decide to align yourself with whatever situation you're in, right here, right now, without being dragged down by what happened 5 minutes ago or what might happen tomorrow. And when you can master this, you don't just exist in a room, you define it. You literally set the tone. Everyone else is mentally all over the place, but you are fully there. You become the main character, not by being the loudest, but by just being the most present. And that controlled energy is highly noticeable and, yeah, incredibly attractive.
So how is this powerful inner state even communicated? I mean, how do people feel it without you having to say a single word? Well, it all comes down to the unspoken language of the body.
Before you even speak, your body language has already told your story. Your movements reveal whether your mind is chaotic or calm, whether your energy is scattered or totally controlled. They're a direct reflection of your inner world. There's this concept in psychology called the economy of motion. It basically means you don't waste energy on fidgeting or twitching or any of those restless movements. Every motion is deliberate. It signals that you conserve your energy for what's actually important, which is a classic high-value trait.
So look for these 4 cues. A walk that's slow and purposeful. Speech that is measured, not rushed. A body that's still without any of that anxious fidgeting. And eye contact that is steady and unbroken. You see, these aren't just habits. They are the outward signs of a stable, controlled nervous system.
And let's be really clear about the eye contact thing. This is not about some aggressive staring contest to dominate someone. Not at all. Steady eyes simply show that your nervous system is calm and that you are comfortable in your own skin. The person who is constantly breaking eye contact is, in a way, kind of running from themselves.
Okay, now for what I think is the most important part. We've decoded the attraction, sure, but what do we actually do with this information? The goal isn't to become some cheap imitation of a movie gangster. The goal is to be smarter.
Now here's a really sharp insight from the source material. If someone is intensely attracted to a deeply toxic and chaotic personality, it might actually be revealing their own need for drama and instability. For some people, chaos feels familiar.
So just think about where these two paths actually lead. I mean, the dangerous man persona might get you some short-term attention, but it is a self-destructive path that often ends in isolation. The truly controlled man, on the other hand, is building for long-term success and reliability.
Ultimately, this all comes down to a choice. You can choose the path of the dangerous man, which is built on short-term chemistry and, frankly, a pretty fragile ego. Or you could choose the path of the controlled man, which is built on long-term reliability and a real foundation of purpose.
So let's reframe this entire thing. The deep desire that a character like this taps into, it isn't really about being dangerous. It's about craving control. Control over your emotions, your focus, and your own life. That is the real source of power here.
And this just puts the final takeaway perfectly. Quality, stable people are not looking for a partner who creates danger. They're looking for a partner who can withstand it. They want someone who is unbreakable, a source of stability, not a source of chaos.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After breaking all this down, what perception did you have about this type of attractive, dangerous persona that, when you really look at it, was actually coming from a place of your own fear or insecurity? It's definitely worth thinking about.